Major Slack Videos.
Well, yeah, the name is Slack. Thanks for coming back. Let's walk through some more Divinity Original Sin 2 before we push into Reaper's Bluffs, which is this area here. This whole area here. I want to make a few changes with Sabille. Let's go back to the Lady of Vengeance. That's where it's going to all kick off. And go downstairs. I stored a whole bunch of stuff in the chest on the Lady of Vengeance. I want to grab some of that stuff and make a few changes to Sabille. I want to make her have a deeper commitment to summoning. Okay, starting off with, let's remove this. We should just need that. And Dominate Mind is not going to be very useful for the areas that we're about to get into, because a lot of enemies have the Possessed ability, which means they're immune to all kinds of things that you typically would, you know, and one of them is Charmed. They're immune to Charm, they're immune to sleeping, they're immune to a whole bunch of statuses that are typically applied when the enemy's magical armor is depleted. They're immune to all that, so this is not going to be very useful. Let's free up those slots, and I want to make some new skills for Sabille, some infusion skills, so that our incarnate, we can not perpetually, but give him a lot of ranged magical attacks. This is something I've just kind of like not discovered, but I've been working on this, going, you know, there's two problems here. Okay, when you have a lone wolf build, okay, this is what I'm running, a duo lone wolf build. Typically you make a commitment to either physical damage or magical damage. My team has made a commitment to physical damage. They're both primarily archers and they're doing a lot of physical damage, but when you get into Act 2, you get a lot of enemies. The game starts mixing it up. It's like, okay, so you want to focus on physical damage, eh? Okay, let's throw some enemies at you that have a colossal amount of physical armor, but other enemies that have, you know, weak magic armor, and haha, you can't take advantage of those because you're all into physical. So this is one thing I've realized, you know what, we can use our incarnate to create a magical attacker at will. This is something I've been underusing. I've been using mostly my incarnate to just have an extra man on the battlefield and to apply physical damage. But we can create a whole bunch of infusion spells. Electric infusion. We already have fire infusion. I don't know if I created this off camera or I don't remember, but yeah, you can create this fire infusion by mixing any summoning book and any pyrokinetic book, and this will create fire infusion. And then you can just like zap your incarnate with this, and all of a sudden all his damage is fire. All his damage is fire damage. You know, like even if he has the whirlwind spell from like the power infusion, that becomes all fire damage. So basically, and you can do the same thing with electric infusion, same thing with poison infusion. And what happens is, I've noticed with the incarnate, is another weak spot is he only has one ranged attack, and then it's like, you know, if he's a blood incarnate, he'll have you know, mosquito swarm, and then once you use that up, you have to wait until, like, you know, the cooldown period is over before he can use it again. Whereas he has his basic ranged attack every turn. Now what you could do is, let's say you want to use your incarnate as a magical warrior. What you could do is have a whole bunch of infusion spells, have fire infusion, electric infusion, and poison infusion. And then give him fire infusion for the first turn. When it comes around to the next turn, zap him with electric infusion, and all of a sudden he's got two more ranged attacks. He's got like the electric attack plus his regular ranged attack, which is also electric based. Then when that's used up, zap him with poison infusion and the same thing. So for like 3 turns of running, you can have them have 2 ranged magical attacks. Something I just hit me in a kind of a aha moment about a week ago. Like, you know what, I should be using my incarnate as a magical warrior to help, like, you know. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's yank out some key books. I have a couple spare summoning books here. Let's just use this one, take that one out, take that one out. And I want to make electric infusion and fire infusion, or rather poison infusion. So that would be summoning plus arrow thurge. Any arrow thurge book. Dazing bolt, probably never use that. And infect, I already had that spell. so won't use that either. So take those out, bring up your crafting screen, go to magical stuff, pop in that guy, that's one summoning book, and we'll mix that with our Dazing Bolts skill book, combine those together, and we got, bam, electric infusion. Boom. Next, take this guy, Fireside Infusion, we already had that, and this is wrong, not infect, it's actually impalement. It's actually an earth skill, yeah, that's right, hang on. It's an earth skill you have to mix it with. This one here, impalement. Okay, here we go. Bring up the crafting screen, magic, Fireside Infusion plus impalement. Yeah, Geomancer skill, sorry. I call it an earth skill because it does earth damage. Okay, so here we go. Summoning, any summoning book plus any Geomancer book combined, and you get, boom, poison infusion. So there we go. Now we have a full range of infusion spells for Sibyl. So pop that in, fire infusion, and she has to eat the other skill books in order to learn those. Here, have some of this, Sibyl, and have some of this. Yum yum. This goes back in. These gonna store for later. Can't use them now. There we go. Okay, so out goes arrow spray. I'm gonna regret this, but out goes first aid too. Okay, move all these guys over. Let's get making a deeper commitment to summoning. Okay, and we're gonna have infusion up the wazoo, starting with fire infusion. You go down there. Electric infusion, you go there. Going to be setting them up in the order that I'm most likely to use them in. And poison infusion, there we go. Fire, electric, poison, and then there's our elemental totem. And this is another thing I bought too. I bought the skill, Raise Bone Widow. This is pretty cool. It's like this gigantic bone spider which has a colossal amount of health, colossal vitality, and he has no magic armor to start off with, but you can just zap him with Armor of Frost to give him both magic armor and physical armor. So that's no problem. And that's another solution I have to the range problem with the Incarnate. Instead of like having him walk all the way across the battlefield trying to get to another enemy because he has no more ranged attacks, just simply deploy a new summon in the form of Raise Bone Widow. And then we're going to have a third option, which I'm going to explain shortly. So that is that. That's all good. This you go out. That's good. Okay. Next, I want to make a couple purchases. So Losa abilities. Normally I do all this, what I call business, off camera. I've been doing a lot of this business off camera, but I just felt this was really relevant, so I'm doing this on camera. And what I want to do is I want to set up a piercing damage combo. Right now, only Losa has a piercing damage attack with Marksman's Fang, and she also has this dagger that has the sawtooth knife skill, which we could pass back and forth. But I also want Sibyl to have the Marksman's Fang skill, so let's buy that. There it is. Shoot an arrow that goes right through the enemies. Each enemy that hit 100 piercing damage. Okay, completely ignores armor. So let's get that. And why is it so expensive? Because I don't have all of Losa's bartering gear on. Should be $9.50. Put that on. that on. Bartering should be at 8. There we go.
Buying or selling?
That's the one. 950. And there's something else here that caught my eye. I wonder if it's there.
Fish stinks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such filth?
This here.
The kind that don't fancy starving, along with the rest of this town.
That would mean that Sibyl would lose her electrical discharge skill, but we rarely use that anyways. And should we get 2 huntsmen? Yeah, I think this is a good purchase. Let's buy that. And sell her old helmet. I wonder if Sibyl might be able to use that. Hang on. Okay, let's just pay for it outright. There we go. Okay, Losa, you have a new helmet. Very good. Put this in Sibyl's inventory. This is definitely junk. And Sibyl, we got a new skill for you. Marksman's Fang. Eat that up, yum yum. There we go. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay, so now we have a much deeper commitment to summoning for Sibyl. And one final thing, there's this ring, the Sorcerer's Ring, which everybody gets. And I've had, yeah, I've had Losa have this, so I was thinking, okay, let's have them both be able to use summons on the battlefield. So basically, 4 guys on the battlefield for a dual lone wolf team. But I think this is much better in Sibyl's hands because she has high summoning skills. So now she can swap this in at will. So now there we go. That's a much deeper commitment to summoning for Sibyl. And that is about it. Is that it? I'm just looking at my notes here. 1 second. Looks good. Let's send both girls back to the Lady Vengeance and respect them both for sneaking, and then we'll get out to Reaper's Bluffs. Sibyl, where are you? Are you upstairs? Okay, start off with Losa. Take all those points out of bartering. Put them into sneak, which I have a newfound respect for on the battlefield. Really, really useful. Let's put a combat gear on. It looks like I got something extra here. Oh yeah, this. Let's store this in the Lady Vengeance for now. There we go. Yeah, keep everything nice and simple. Okay. Losa, your damage should be, that's correct, 183. And 43% critical chance, that's great. Sibyl, your turn. Take all those points out of thievery and put it into, like I said, sneak. And there's one more thing I wanted to do with Sibyl. She has enough now that we're, like, she's got a lot of health and armor. I'm less concerned about her recovering health in combat, which is why I had extra points in Necromancer. So let's yank 1 point out of Necromancer and put it into ranged. Yeah. Sweet. I like it. Okay, what kind of damage is doing now? actually was better in Warfare. See, I changed my plan at the last minute. Don't do that, Slack. I think you would have learned your lesson. Warfare. Should be up to 133. That's what I'm talking about. 133, 118 to 133. Okay, so we're good. That's it. We're good. Everybody's inventory has lots of space. Let's get back into the war. Get up to Reaper's Bluffs. Okay, across down you go. I swear, it would take 5 years to fully master this game, in my humble opinion. I'm not talking about play the game well. You know, play the game well, take, you know, depending on how fast you learn. But like to fully master every single build and every single aspect of this game, I think it would take 5 years. I think Larian Studios has created a game that is not possible to fully master in a single normal human lifetime. This is not doable. We're coming up to an ambush right there. There's a broken bridge here, and as soon as you pass under here, you're gonna get ambushed. The solution to this is to go take this path up here. They even mention it. Somebody mentions that as you. Let's see if we can approach and see if we get Losa to speak up. Do a quick save here. Okay. Somebody talk about an ambush. Ambush?
Were I to ambush a mark, this ravine would be perfect.
Okay, so there's your clue. Okay. So, play it smart. Let's take the high ground. Back up here, girls. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna separate the team. Losa, you hang out here. Sabila, you're gonna take the high ground. Okay, let's see if we can tactical retreat you up there. Yes, you can. Perfect. Now, what happens is when you approach it from high ground, it doesn't trigger the fight. So you can get all set up first. So go to the bridge, and then like the tactical retreat across to the other side of the bridge, because what happens is one of the enemies always spawns right there. So what we could do is just put a pool of blood right there, and then we could plunk Pee-wee, our incarnate, right on top of that pool of blood. Be all set up as soon as the fight starts. Okay, tactical retreat across there like that. You go there. There you go, drop a pool of blood there. You come there, we're all ready to rock. Okay, Losa. Start sauntering casually up the valley.
Dum-de-dum-dum-dum. Oh my. What a great place for an ambush. It's a good thing I'm a pretty girl, no one will ambush me.
And let's have her stick to this side. It's better. Keep going, keep going. Oh yeah, that's right. Go right in the oil. Back out. Go over here. Actually should have burned up that oil. There we go.
Flies.
Call out to the dwarves, say you're not looking for trouble.
Go back! Get out of my realm!
And that doesn't work. It's game on.
Ambush!
Okay, Sabile takes a hit. And as you can see, this one's right in front of the pool of blood. How convenient. Okay, so let's plunk a blood incarnate right there. And of course, flesh sacrifice. Alright, we finally get a war cry. And let's give him... What's your situation? Examine. 60% fire resistance, okay? But you have negative water resistance. That's one thing I forgot to check. To see if HydroSaphist mixes with summoning to create a water infusion. You're going to have to check that. Actually, no it doesn't. I just remembered. A HydroSaphist skill book mixed with summoning creates blood rain, if I recall correctly. Or was that Necro? Anyways, I'll get back to you on that. You have no physical armor, so that pretty much decides it. You're staying as a blood warrior there, Pee-wee. I'm going to give you all the toys. Okay, now it's either a totem or take a pot shot at this possessed elementalist. I vote for pot shot. Don't want to waste a ballistic shot because she's really close, so just like sky shot would be great because we don't have... Yeah. Alright, Pee-wee, do your thing. Ranged attack. Hang on, what's your name? Possessed Elementalist. Yep, you're the one. Regular attack. And an attack of opportunity should finish her off. That's what you get for trying to move. Okay, Losa. Hopefully you can tack ret. That's my short form for tactical retreat. Up here? Great, yes you can. Low physical, high magic. Tempted to use arrow spray. Just to see what happens. This is wicked, this spell. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's bugged on the bridge. I forgot. It didn't do any damage at all. What a waste. Okay, yeah, always quick save, Slack. Sky shot for you. And this possessed marksman is focusing on Sibyl for some odd reason. First aid. You're lucky. Because we could have easily turned you into a chicken. Okay, Sibyl. Now's the time for a ballistic shot. That's right. And... how about just a couple of regular shots? And again. And you are in a bad way. Loso, it's your turn. Gonna turn him into a chicken just for good measure. There we go. And let's cook them up in fine style.
Strange. I swear their eyes were pure black.
Oh, I loves me my knockdown arrows. Okay, let's grab that stuff. Sibyl, what does this individual have? High quality air essence. And we're off to a good start. There's a camp over here.
Whatever happened here? It was a massacre.
There's some nice, a unique armor piece in this camp, if I recall correctly. I think it's this guy right here, this dead dwarf here, always has this. There it is. Stonecrusher armor. Not quite my cup of tea, but yeah, if you're interested in that, it's always there. Always there for me. And doesn't look like there's much here. Oh! Empty grenade. Thank you, game. Not so crazy about the rotten eggs, but... excellent. And this key opens this chest right here, which we're gonna have to tactical retreat up to because I don't see a ladder. Doesn't look like it. Okay, no matter. Big whoop. Okay, and that is that. Let's separate the girls. Send Losa back to town to recharge her source. And I'm going to call it a video. We're going to continue working Reaper's Bluffs next video. So I would like to thank you all very much for watching. See you next video. Hey guys, real walkthroughs like these are an endangered species here on YouTube. For a complete lowdown on the YouTube video game walkthrough scene, check out my Patreon page and please consider making a donation to yours truly, Major Slack, to help keep real walkthroughs alive on YouTube. You can donate as little as $1. That's $1, that's all. That's all it takes, alright? Thanks a lot, really appreciate it.